Hello, everyone, and welcome to ISM Radio. I'm your host, Gage, and we are here tonight at Oheka Castle for another executive networking event for ISM, and I have the pleasure of sitting here tonight with Warren Goldberg, the president of MortgageWealthAdvisors.com. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I'm gracious to be here.
Now, have you been to the castle before?
It's been decades. I think the last time I was at the castle, there was still an ROTC group that ran it. And my cousin was actually in ROTC, so we came to see them, marching and whatnot. But that was decades
Right,
ago.
it was a military academy.
It was a military academy, exactly.
Yeah, no, excellent. So, well, we're glad to have a reason to come back here.
Yes.
But people don't even realize, they know they have weddings here and whatnot, but they don't realize there's a hotel. There's a restaurant. They do tours. They have events. They have all kinds of stuff going on here all the time.
And it's so close. It's amazing that we don't even think of it.
It's right here in Huntington, and it's like one of the biggest castles in the United States. I think it's like the second largest. It's up there on the top of the list. So check it out at oheka.com is the website if you guys want to check it out. And we're happy to be here tonight for ISM's Executive Networking event. Now, tell us a little bit about the mortgage business and the mortgage industry right now, what you guys do, and
So my business is very unique amongst all other companies in the mortgage industry. Most loan officers in this industry are really, I say they're glorified salespeople. They're looking to sell a product. They will work with the realtors to try to get the loan closed. Everybody makes a commission.
Right.
They're not really thinking about the borrowers in the bigger scope of things in terms of, can they really afford this mortgage? Is it going to complement their financial plan? Is it going to help them to build wealth, or is it just going to be a payment that drains their checking account?
Right, the longevity of it.
The longevity of it. So, there are so many different types of mortgage products, just as there are so many other types of financial products. And my philosophy has always been that a mortgage is a financial instrument. It should never be sold to someone. It should be matched to the borrower's needs to help them to accomplish goals. So whereas someone may go to a bank, I've been banking with XYZ for 30 years. I have my checking account there. They know me by name. They're going to do all these wonderful things. They don't.
No.
They don't.
So now you're dealing with somebody you didn't know before. You're not dealing with the tellers and the people you deal with on a daily basis.
You're dealing with a loan officer at the branch who then takes your paperwork and sends it to a processing department in another location, and then it goes to underwriting in a third location.
Right. And nobody knows who you are.
No one knows who you are. I don't care if you have $100 in your checking account or you're a private client with millions in the bank.
Right.
You're a number on an application in a folder. And if you don't meet their specific guidelines, you're not getting approved.
Right.
So what I do with my clients, it's a concierge experience first and foremost. I'm looking at their overall financial situation. I'm looking to find out what their short-term goals are, what their long-term goals are. Why are they looking to maybe buy this house versus another, or in this price range, or in this neighborhood? I'm asking them questions that other people don't ask them.
Right.
Most loan officers are going to say, this is how much you qualify for. I'm asking questions like, what do you feel you can afford each month for a housing payment based on your budget and lifestyle? And I'm backing into what they would feel comfortable with. We're looking at where the money for the down payment is coming from. Is it going to cause a taxable event, or something called lost opportunity cost, where if they liquidate that investment, it's no longer there to grow over time? We're looking at tax ramifications and so many other different things, because I want that mortgage to complement the financial plan that they may have with their financial advisor. And frankly, if they don't have a financial plan or a financial advisor, we can help them to get one, or I will help them to establish that foundation so that they can grow to get to a financial advisor. But it's a whole different approach than just saying, do you want a 30-year fixed or a 15-year fixed? And how much money are you putting down? And here, sign this document.
Right. So speaking of a 30-year or a 15-year fixed, give them an example now, because by the time they see this in 5 days or a week or in 6 days, whatever it is, the rate's going to change. But where are they at now to give them a industry perspective?
Definitely rates change every single day, sometimes more than once a day. The irony is that the big mistake that most people do is that they look to shop around for interest rates. It's a moving target.
Right.
If you're looking to apply for a mortgage today, the bank may quote you this rate today, but that's not necessarily the rate that you're going to ultimately get when it comes time for you to lock in.
That's right, because that's months from now.
It could be months from now. It could be a week from now. It could be, anywhere in between.
Right.
And the lowest rate isn't necessarily the best product or the best payment for you also. People say, well, 15-year rates are lower. I want a 15-year. That's true. They are a lower interest rate. Doesn't necessarily mean that a 15-year product is best for you.
Right, maybe the 30, but that's why they need to go to an expert like you, because you're going to point out all the differences that they didn't think of.
I will go over all the differences, the pros and cons of the different options. I will lay it out for them so that they can make a rational and informed decision instead of being sold something by someone who's just looking to sell a product.
Right. And where are you guys located? Where do you work out of?
My office is in Plainview. We're right on the South Service Road, centrally located. You can still come to meet me in the office and we can go over everything in person. Most people these days, since COVID, we do everything over the phone,
right,
or Zoom or something to that effect. But I want to make sure that my clients are happy and smiling from that very first conversation right through to the closing.
Sure. And it's not just a 15 and a 30 year. You guys do a lot of other things. You have reverse mortgages. There's a whole list. Like you said, you use the words concierge. So you guys are a concierge for the mortgage advising industry, and you want people to come to you with anything.
Anything residential, correct?
Right. You cover right, not commercial.
Not commercial. Right. I don't do commercial.
Right. Anything residential, you cover the whole spectrum.
The whole spectrum. You're purchasing a home, a vacation home. You're looking to consolidate your debt, pulling money out for college education. You're a senior and you're contemplating a reverse mortgage, or maybe you don't even know what a reverse mortgage is, but you want someone to explain it to you.
Right.
These are the things that I will consult with. And it's funny. Lots of seniors have heard horror stories about reverse mortgages, and when you mention a reverse mortgage, their first impression may be, that's not something I want. But they don't necessarily know what they don't want.
Right.
And I'll say things as much as I like Tom Selleck, you don't necessarily want to purchase that reverse mortgage from Tom Selleck on TV. You want someone who's going to explain this to you and help you to determine whether it's the right product to help you to accomplish the goal that you want.
Right. Whether they're leaving the house to their kids or family or kin or any of that stuff. All of that comes into that picture, especially with the reverse mortgage.
Absolutely. A reverse mortgage is a wonderful product, but it could be used incorrectly. And when it's used incorrectly, it's a horrible product.
Which is why they want to speak to Warren Goldberg.
I hope they do.
And that's why we're here tonight. We're at Oheka. We're having an event. We're podcasting. We're going to show this video out there on the internet for people to see. And anybody that's interested or in the market or looking for somebody that is knowledgeable and cares about the actual product that they're selling you, there's no better place to go than head on over to mortgagewealthadvisors.com. That's the best way for them to get in touch with you.
They can go to the website and contact us through the website. You can call me. The office number is 516-584-7218. If you contact me, sometimes I'll answer the phone if I'm there. Sometimes I'm running with my hair on fire. You may have to leave a message, whatever hair I have left. You may have to leave a message, but I tell all my clients, I do not put my head down on the pillow at night until I return every phone call and every email.
That's it. That's the life of a certified mortgage specialist.
It's exhausting.
Hair is on fire. That was a great expression. I might have to steal that one. But you know what? Listen, there's stuff people don't know about you that, you've been a guest already on Blog Talk Radio. Mm-hmm. You've done interviews and quotes. You've appeared in Newsday, Daily News, the Long Island Herald. And you also have your own publication that you send out as a weekly newsletter.
We do publish a weekly newsletter. We have quite a few thousand people that subscribe and read it, hopefully read it every week.
Right.
Many times the newsletter will be informative, educational. Sometimes it'll be a case study of someone that I've helped and how we've helped them it'll trigger certain things for people that are reading it. Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Right. You didn't know you could do that, or I didn't know that I could do that myself.
That's
because
true,
a lot of people think right away, no, that doesn't apply to me.
Exactly.
That's why they need an expert. And it really does. It pays in life and a lot of things. It really pays to speak to an expert when you need help doing something. But people are very intimidated, which is why it's great to be on camera right now and on a microphone, because now there's people that are strange people listening to you and hearing you, and they're like, wow, I kind of like that guy. They get a personality feel of why they would want to work with you and do business with you. Because
I'll tell you a secret. No one ever accused me of being intimidating.
Right. Now tell us a little bit. You got into this business, but originally when we sat down. We were talking about airplanes, and you went, to aerospace. And
no one ever gets into the mortgage industry or says they in high school they want to go into the mortgage industry. It's always a second or a third career.
Okay.
My first career, I was a pilot. I was trying to claw my way up the ladder to the airlines. Back when all the airlines were going into business, those may remember TWA, Pan Am, Eastern Airlines.
Right.
So as I'm clawing my way up, all these pilots with so much more experience and hours of flight time were being pushed down the ladder. And I had to make a decision. I had to decide whether I was going to pursue my first passion, which was flying, and live in my parents' basement for the next 10 years while I tried to do it. By the way, I was engaged, and my wife was not really thrilled with that option.
Nobody would be thrilled with that option.
Exactly. Or my second passion was money, finance. How is money created? How do people earn it? Investing. And I had some great mentors who introduced me to this industry. I was with them for about 16 years. And 30 years later, it's been pretty good to me.
Right. So how long have you been doing the mortgage
30
years?
plus years.
30 plus years,
Yeah.
and you've been in Plainview the whole time?
I started with a company that was in Mineola. I was with them for 16 years.
Okay.
And after the crash, no one really even knew whether there was going to be a mortgage industry. So I took a sabbatical for about 6 months, just watched and waited.
Okay.
Went back into the industry, was working for a small company in Woodbury for a number of months. They merged with a larger company, and at that point I said, you know what, this isn't going to work. It's time for me to go out on my own.
So now that you're on your own, what's the majority of the customers that are coming to you, the people that are listening? Give me an idea of the customers right now. They're coming to you for mortgages. They're coming to you for financial advice.
Both, really.
Yeah.
I love working with first-time buyers. Especially if they're referred by a client, previous client, or a financial advisor, or a CPA, they get it. They get what
Right.
the importance of the advice
Yes.
and the hand-holding. We'll bring them from the very beginning of, I don't know what I can afford, I don't know where I can purchase, can you help me, right through to the closing. And they truly appreciate it. I mean, you can go online, you can see the countless testimonials.
Oh yeah, I saw them today.
Five-star ratings and whatnot.
Absolutely. That's why I'm asking, because
Absolutely.
you definitely have an accolade following you, and it's great to see. But it's obviously a testament to the hard work and the professionalism that you bring to the table.
You only have one reputation, and you have to guard it fiercely. You do one thing that's wrong, or you screw one person, and it's over.
That's your reputation.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
We work with a lot of self-employed borrowers. It could be someone with a simple Schedule C independent contractor, or someone who has very complex tax returns with dozens of entities that are flowing in.
Right.
Most people in my industry, even underwriters, they do not know how to read tax returns. They are taught to look at a certain tax document, line X or 1 or 5 or 7.
Certain numbers that are on there, and that's it.
Take the number, put it on their spreadsheet, and that's it. But they don't understand the flow.
Right.
And when I do the analysis, I'm able to many times extract more income, more qualifying income,
Out of your tax return
out of the
than
tax
the
return.
average.
Exactly, to help them to qualify for a loan that they may not have been able to, or instead of just going to that loan officer and the loan officer's eyes glaze over and says, oh, we're going to do a no income verification, or some other product that has a higher interest rate. Many times I don't have to do that.
And from the whole process, from the beginning to the end, you're there with them.
Right there. Answering questions, addressing concerns. We have a weekly status update email that goes out to everyone on the transaction so everybody knows what's going on. Many of my clients, even before they have time to think about asking a question, they look in their email box and there's the status right there.
Yeah, that's service, and that's something that you bring to the table. And when you're a good company, you know what you're doing, you know how to treat people, and you know what you can do that other big companies are not doing.
People think that the big box banks are the way to go. Like I said before,
Right.
I have had my checking account there for 30 years, and they're going to do things for me. It's just not the case.
The teller knows who you are.
The teller knows.
That's it. After that, you're just a number to them, especially
Exactly.
when you get into that folder, because now you're going off to the corporate world, and those people that are looking at it have no idea who you are.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. You're just a number on a document. There's no personal service. You don't get that concierge advice that can make a huge difference, not just now, but in the future.
Now, we touched on mortgages and reverse mortgages. Are there anything else in that concierge, because you just mentioned that, that you would like the people out there to know that you specialize in and you're an expert in?
I know a lot. I know a little about a lot of different areas of finance. Okay. So when I'm working with a client, I'll know whether their investments may be after doing the analysis, if their investments are appropriate for them, or if there's something that better they should be doing. If they are underinsured, if they're overinsured, if they have their estate planning in place. When you're looking at a big financial picture, it's not just about mortgages. It's not just about putting money in the bank. It's not just about investing. There's a lot of different areas that will help that family to be protected correctly and to ultimately be on the right path towards wealth accumulation and hopefully to retire one day, pay for their kids' college expenses, leave a legacy, whatever the case may be. And, everyone has heard of compound interest. The miracle of compound interest. The more years you have to put money away, the greater it can grow.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't start putting money away until much later on. And specifically to mortgages, if you have this mortgage payment that's draining your checking account every month and you cannot fund your retirement or your kids' college education, it's going to come back and bite you.
Right. And that's coming from an advisor. And this is why they need... Now, it says mortgage advisor, but it sounds like you advise a lot more than just mortgages.
That's why the company's called Mortgage Wealth Advisors.
That's right, because wealth is in there for a reason. That's why I left it out, because I wanted to make the point that people look at it and it's mortgagewealthadvisors.com. It's not just mortgages.
Our tagline is the right mortgage today for your family's wealth and security tomorrow.
Right. So there you go, folks. And there's no better place to go than mortgagewealthadvisors.com to check out Mr. Warren Goldberg.
I appreciate you inviting me. I enjoyed this, and thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of ISM Radio. I'm Gage Simon, signing off with Warren Goldberg. Check him out at mortgagewealthadvisors.com. Thanks for tuning in.